first device I'm going to say that is the best to get started in content creation is your mobile phone. You already have it. It's in your pocket. It's always with you. It's within arm's reach, most of us. Yo guys, welcome back to another podcast. Today in this podcast, in this Mobile Creators Podcast, we're going to be talking about what's the best camera to get started if you're going to do YouTube or some type of content creation. It's a big question I get asked all the time. And why am I looking directly at the microphone? I should be looking at the camera. But anyways, let's get straight in it. Again, if you're new to my channel, my name is Patrick Levar. I'm a mobile filmmaker, mobile content creator, and I help you guys try and establish a YouTube page or whatever you want to do, but to get into content creation. This podcast is only 10 minutes long, so let's go ahead and set that timer right now and get straight into it. Boom. So first thing off, I'm going to be sharing some info that I've got from a cool source called Studio Binder. It's one of my favorite sites to go to as far as cinematography and just overall tips on tricks and stuff on basically how to film. And I came across this really cool little article or blog here talking about the best camera for YouTube videos, prices, specs, and top picks. Now, some of these stuff I agree with and some of them I don't agree with, but there are a couple that I wanted to share. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this list. Those of you who are listening on the podcast, I will say the names, but if you want to jump on the YouTube video podcast and take a look, I'll have all of the info here. Links will be down in the description. They are affiliate links, so they do help out the channel. So if you guys are into that, definitely take a look at below. But let's get straight into it. The first device I'm going to say that is the best to get started in content creation is your mobile phone. You already have it. It's in your pocket. It's always with you. It's within arm's reach, most of us. So that would be my my first suggestion as far as any type of filmmaking. Use your cell phone because you got it and it's already there. Next, if you wanted to get into purchasing something, because I've had a lot of people who want to start to purchase things, I'm going to just kind of fire off a couple of them here. And they're not in any particular order. I think they listed them on the website as far as cheapest to highest. But the first one they have is the DJ Osmo Action. Now, I will say this is a great source. If you're really into getting into the beginnings, you don't want to do with the camera and all the settings and manuals, an action cam will work out really well. Now these action cams also have the option to hook up a microphone, which is A+. The DJI Osmo Action has a small screen on the front, so you can basically frame yourself up. Super fantastic, and it's simple and easy to use. The price on that is, I think, is coming in at about $199. Again, it's YouTube ready. The footage is already stabilized, which is a big plus. It's waterproof and it has a wide angle lens basically. So it's going to be a very good starter one. The next one they have here at number 2 is the Insta360 Go 2. And I'm not going to say it's a Go 2. I wouldn't possibly use this to start off with. You were better off with the action cam. But the Insta360 is super small. It's wearable. But the only thing for me, the downside is I don't think you can hook up a microphone to it. Don't quote me on that. But for the price coming in at $299 and it's super small, and I don't know how you're going to hook up a microphone to that, I would kind of shy away from that because, again, the sound is extremely important. If the sounds, I don't care how beautiful the video is, if it sounds crappy, nobody's going to watch your video. But anyways, it is handheld. It comes with its own little charger case that acts as a tripod. It shoots up to 1440p, which again, if you're getting in the beginning, if you're getting into the basics, you don't need to worry about 4K, 3 and all that. Just make sure it's HD and you're okay. Next, number 3, which I really highly suggest, the DJI Osmo Pocket, which is really cool. It's got it's like a little gimbal, which I am a big fan of gimbals. I personally don't have one of these. It's on my wish list, but the thing is fantastic. This one does shoot 4K, excellent stability, basically because it acts like a little gimbal. Easy to upgrade. It has accessories. Again, you can hook up microphones and whatnots to it. And I've even seen little body harnesses where you can have it hooked up onto you and stuff like that, and it fits in your pocket. Super fantastic. The price on that is coming in about $299. This is one of my picks, definitely, that I would really like to. I wish I would have started off with something like this. It would have been really great. It's a good step up from your camera. Next, we got the GoPro Hero Black. Now, I'm not a big fan too much of the GoPros. They are quite expensive. But on that other hand, the stabilization is industry standard. They are like the leaders in image stabilization. I mean, the stuff that they can stabilize is just amazing. If you're willing to spend the money on these things. Now, the GoHo, this one, I mean, the GoPro Hero 9 is coming in at about $399. Yikes. But this one you can stream in 1080, which is fantastic if you want to get into some YouTube live stuff. It does 4K, it does 5K. It has a front display, and it also has time-lapse mode. And they definitely make a ton of accessories for this thing here. And it does, you can hook up microphones and whatnot. It's just a little bit pricey, almost $399. Honestly, if I'm going to spend anything over $300, I'm really going to think about buying a camera. Because again, the camera in the long run, you'll get more life. You can do photography. You have the option to buy lenses. You just have more room to grow with the camera. And especially paying $399 and above for an action camera, yikes. You know, I'm not sure about that one. But then we get into, they got number 5. They have the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III. Try saying that 3 times really fast. But now we're getting into the cameras. And this is where I would say, if you're going to spend anything over $300, just buy a camera. Don't even waste your money on an action cam. This one does 4K uncropped. Uncropped means like some cameras will do 4K, but it actually crops into the image a little bit, so you're kind of like zooming in a little bit. But this is uncropped 4K. It live streams to YouTube. It has a built-in microphone, so you're ready to go. But I would still always opt for one of these optional exterior microphones, and it has a touch flip screen. The flip screens are so awesome when you want to frame yourself up. You're looking at $749 for this. And again, we're getting into the camera realm, and now this is where your value is really going to start to come in, because this is not just for filming. You can take photos with this. It's just you have a lot more versatility with it as far as when you're starting to get into the cameras. Then they have here a Panasonic G100. And on the Panasonic G100, again, it does 4K. It has microphones built in. Works great for photography, and like it says here, and then also has a viewfinder. You can actually look in and frame up your shot when you're taking a photo. And that one's coming in at $747. So now we're starting to get into cameras. And when you get into cameras, some people are like, I don't know what camera to buy. I would always say buy a camera that fits your needs. If you're going to be taking a lot more photos, you want to lean towards something that's better at photos. Vice versa, if you're more about video, you want to lean towards something that's a little bit more geared towards video, or its stronger suit will be towards video. This is one that I've been seeing a lot of people use, a lot of people who do vlogging and stuff like that. The Sony ZV-1, which is really clever. Sony is really kind of marketing this at the vloggers. It's tripod stand. It acts as a remote where you can basically start and stop, zoom and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. It has a flip out screen on the side, which I'm a big fan of flip outs on the side versus flip out on the top. I like to have that one on the top so you can have it nice and clear. I mean, on the side, so it's nice and clear, because if you put a microphone on top, then you have your screen flip up, like the microphone is blocking your screen, right? So this thing is really cool. Has a nice little large sensor for top quality photos. It comes with a product display feature. Sorry, spitting all over the microphone. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't gotten in depth into this. It has lots of accessories. Price is coming in at about $748 for this Sony ZV-1. But from what I've heard, it's a great little camera for people who are really into doing vlogging and stuff like that. Definitely might want to take a look at that. Then we're getting into the Canon. I'm a big Canon user. I have a Canon EOS M, which is, I don't know if you guys can see, it's just right there off screen. For those of you who are watching on the video vlog, it's just right there off screen. And I actually have the Magic Lantern hack on it, where I'm able to do 4-bit, 14-bit, 10-bit RAW. Like, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, the quality that I can get out of this camera. And I bought it used on Amazon for like $200. It was fantastic. So here we got the Canon EOS M6. I have the M, which was their very first series. They started 12 years ago. So I'm a big fan of the Canon stuff. They do video very well. Uncropped 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080 at 120 frames per second. For those who don't know the frames per second, the higher the number is, when you can do slow motion, the more slower it is. So most of the time movies are filmed in 24 frames per second. TV shows tend to be around 30. And then anything that's specialized like slow motion is like 120, 210. It goes up, and the higher that number is, the more slower it is. So this camera's coming in at about $849. It has a flip out. I think it has a flip to the top, I want to say. Some of the newer Canons have the flip to the top. I think the M50 has a flip to the side. Fuji is Fujifilm XS10 is a great little camera. The Fuji community is very nice and very helpful. I do follow a couple of YouTubers who are Fuji shooters, and I'm amazed at how much, you know, they share their info, they share their settings. A lot of people, some just are very secretive about that, which I don't know why, but some are. But I tend to notice a lot of the Fujifilm shooters are very basically tight niche. They all like to share their info and stuff, which is really nice. This camera does 4K, 30 frames per second, slow motion at 240 frames. That's even slower than the other camera. External microphone, so you can hook up a mic to it. And then it also has IBIS, which stands for in-body image stabilization. Anytime you're buying any type of camera, if it has in-body stabilization, it's going to help smooth out those shakes and jitters. You want to keep that video as nice and silky smooth as possible, and you want to have something that has stabilization. My little Canon back here, when I have a manual lens on it, there is no in-body stabilization. So every little movement your body makes, you are making some type of jitter into the video. So you always want to keep your video smooth as possible. This is coming in at about $1,000. So I've told you the list here as we go up is getting a little bit more expensive. And we here next they have the Panasonic Lumix G90. I don't know too much about the Panasonic. Sorry guys. The Panasonics, it does have a flip out screen, waterproof design, again, in-body stabilization. This one is coming in at about $1,000, a little over 1,100 bucks. Then you got the Olympus EM50, and that's our time super fast Mark III. This last camera also, again, designed to carry around. It has a touch screen, cinema camera, 4K at 24 and 1080 in slow motion, and that's coming at about $1,199. So they got a couple other cameras here. They got the Sony A6600, and it goes on to, again, some more Sonys, the Sony RX100 Mark IV. But anyways, I'll have a link down to Studio Binders, their blog, so you guys can take a look at it. There's a lot of good info. This list I thought was really cool, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Again, the folks down at Studio Binder are fantastic. This is not sponsored by them. It's just a source that I love, and I wanted to share it out and give you guys some knowledge. So, again, all these cameras and all this stuff that I talked about, again, the best camera is the one that you have in your pocket, your cell phone. You should use that. Again, once you're ready to make a purchase, think about what you want to do and your needs, and is your device going to meet your needs? So, enough of my jibber jabber. Patrick Levar, again, I got this one in a day late, but I got it. I'm trying to maintain consistency. I'm working on a project here, a mobile photography 101 class that I'm working on. So it's been taking up a lot of my days. I can't wait to share that once it's finished with you guys. So stay tuned, join the email crew so you guys can stay up to date on when I drop that course out. And again, t-shirts are in. T-shirts are in. Let me get that in the shot there. Shameless plug. I film stuff. PatrickLevar.com. Take a look. Link will be down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Keep filming. It's the only way you'll get better. And take care of each other. Peace.